Okay, this video is for a buddy who just refuses to make time to watch me play this game for a little while, so I can show him how cool it is and how much he'd love it and how much fun we could have on a server playing it together. But since he is so busy, and you know who you are, I will spend like 4 times the time to make a video and edit it and put it up just so you could watch it, right? Okay. This is the map we're playing. This is an 8K nitrogen map. We're not going to go deep into it. I just want to show you I'm basing right there. All this red stuff is cities and roads. Not a lot of detail here in this screenshot, but there's ways to look at this map differently. Anyway, all those X marks are traders. They're important in the game. Lots of cities. You'll be able to see. We're going to go for a little flight. From my current base is right here. I like to start basing by a couple traders, so I have some options. And we're going to fly over to about here where I'm building a new base, second base. So they just kind of give you a grasp of the size of this map. We are down in my base. I always start basing underground. It's easier to start with. I got a ladder that goes up to the surface there. This is a ramp that goes up to the surface. I can get my vehicles down here, or some of them. I think the truck will climb that. The mini bike won't, and the bike won't. I pick those up and carry them up to go up that ramp. That's a 45-degree ramp. Usually I'll make one out of wedge blocks of 30 degrees, and anything can drive up it. Let's talk about vehicles for just a second. Early in the game, you can make a bicycle, and it's human powered, of course, so it uses stamina. See my blue bar going down on the left? It gets you around, and it's a way to carry a lot more stuff than what you can on your inventory. Now both my inventory is large and my vehicle inventory is large because I run a mod to make that happen. You don't normally get that much. The mini bike is the next thing you build. It's gas powered, of course, so you're not using stamina while you're using it, and it gets you around. I play with the mini bike for quite a while because I skip the next vehicle, which is the motorcycle. A lot of people like the motorcycle. I don't really get into it. I usually go straight from the mini bike to the Jeep. The Jeep can carry 2 people. It climbs a lot better. It's truly a 4-wheeler. And of course it takes gasoline and has its own inventory. All these vehicles do. I like this vehicle. I use it quite a bit depending on the task of the day and how far I'm going away, how far from my base. These 2 vehicles later in the game, they're usually down in my base because there's tunnels all over this base that go for miles where I'm mining in every direction. So I'll ride my mini bike or the bicycle to wherever I'm mining through these tunnels. The last vehicle I'll show you when we get up top, and we're not going to spend a lot of time in this base. I just want to give you a quick rundown. I am late game, so this is going to look easier than what it is. I mean, I'm level 200, so I got all the cool weapons and my skills built up, and it's gonna look easier than it is. It's much harder early game. But while we're talking about skills, let's look at the skill tree real quick. You have a lot of categories for skills, and each category has subcategories that let you do you know, different things. I got my robotics inventor maxed out, which lets me throw down 2 turrets at once. Lets me build the best turrets in the game, not including the level 6s, which you can only find from looting or buying. Grease Monkey is how you learn to buy your other, build your other vehicles. You'll notice I have none of these. I didn't spend any points on these because everything you can do in all these perk ups, there's also a book for. You know, each book has basically the same things that are on these. So as you gain experience and find more books and read them and learn different skills, then you don't have to buy them on the skill tree. It's kind of hard to explain, but I mean it's pretty simple as you get into it. And it depends on what you want to concentrate on. You want to concentrate on combat or building, or slipping around at night, stealth, all kinds of different things. So skill tree's fun. Use it more early game. Now that I'm maxed out, I got 42 skill points available. I should probably spend those things, but most of the stuff that I don't have skills for, I've got the books for. And there's a few things that your books here will not give you quite as much value as buying the perk or earning the perk, buying the perk with points. But that's mostly an eye for an eye. Anyway, that's the skill tree. It's fun. It's heavily used, especially early game. And the longer you play, the more points you get. Even after you're maxed out at 200, you still keep getting skill points. So eventually, I imagine you could have every one of these filled out, maxed out. I should spend my skill points one of these days. Anyway, this is kind of a crude base. This is how I start the game. I start underground, so zombies don't bother me as much. I can craft early game and stuff. The stuff on the sides, on the ends of my base, are later additions. Like I set up these 6 forges and 6 cement mixers to make concrete, and they are making concrete. And I need lots of concrete, and I'll show you why a little later. This is where I keep all my stuff. Stuff I find from looting, stuff I craft. That chemistry set's making glue. So's that one. This one's making gunpowder by the stack. This is making gunpowder by the stack. I've kind of worked through a sorting way here that works good for me. Everybody's different. Workbenches build stuff for you. Workbench over here, pretty much continuously making shotgun ammo. This is making repair kits, which I was getting a little low on. Then it's going to make some 44 Magnum hollow point ammo. This is making stacks of 9mm hollow point ammo. That's doing nothing. This is making bullet tips and buckshot. This is making cases in brass and lead. I do that over here. Not going to go into a lot of detail here. A lot of times I'll put a concrete roof on here and it looks nice. I just kind of skipped it this time because I was anxious to get up there and start looting. Anyway, we're going to spend a lot of time on bases. Like I said, I usually base underground at first. Then later on I'll build a base or 2 or 3, or maybe just an outpost in different places on the map, because it'll take all day. Even to fly, it'll take all day to go from one corner of the map to the other almost. Not all day, but you won't want to be running back and forth dropping stuff off. So I'll make other outposts all over the maps. It is almost 6 a.m. So we're going to go topside. Oh, I need to grab some stuff. Oh, we got one chore to do. I am building another base right now, and I need to drop off some materials as we go by it. The last vehicle, there's my bedroll. If I die, I'll spawn right there. I usually drop that on day one. It pretty much stays there. These temporary storage early game before I build any of this, before I've even tunneled back there. Where I usually make my food early game. Now this is the voxel game, which means everything in the game is destroyable. You can dig, you can mine, you can tear down anything in the game. Cars, buildings. That's another mod I run. It is a chicken coop, and when there's a little chicken perched on top there, it's ready. It goes about every day and a half, and it gives me eggs and feathers. Feathers used to make arrows, of course. Pretty much early game. And oh, you know what I didn't show you while I was down there was that's right, we're not going back. Different weapons. There are a ton of different weapons in this game. These are my favorite weapons. I use the baseball club a lot. The AK, of course. Baseball bat, that is. The MP5 and my sniper rifle, which is a lot of fun. This one is a marksman rifle. There's a sniper rifle, and oh, there's everything from M60s to 44 mags in this game, and tons and tons of weapons. Lots of different types of shotguns, sawed off, auto like an A12, pump shotguns, bunch of different kinds of rifles, pistols. Each one of these you can configure. For instance, on my baseball bat, I have a burning shaft mod and a metal spikes mod, ergonomic grip mod, and weighted head. And each one of those do different things, from damage to giving you stamina. That has the possibility of lighting the bad guy on fire. All your other weapons have things too. I have an extended magazine and a rad remover and a foregrip mod and a barrel extender mod, which gives me more power. My sniper rifle, I got a silencer on and 8x scope, and I use extended magazines on all my weapons, really. Okay, trader should be open. You know what, we're not going to do anything in them right now. This is the fourth vehicle. My fourth vehicle. And I use it most often because it's quicker, point A to point B. We get up in the air here, you'll be able to see the cities. Like you've seen on that map I showed you. Everything in this game, everything you see down below is a lootable POI, and a lot of them look much simpler from the surface than they actually are. I mean, a lot of these are like, they got, you know, tunnels and bunkers underneath them, and some of the simplest looking POIs on the surface can be really complex down below, you know. Almost like their own little dungeon. Right now we're flying over some desert stuff, and this is why I like the gyrocopter. I could drive my mini bike. I drive anything over here, mini bike, or more likely to take the truck. As you can see, there's little depressions and roads that you can drive through, but of course it's much faster to fly over here. I mean, it probably half the time of zigzagging around all those desert mountains. We're coming up in a place where I'm building a new base. I'm gonna put a base up here, and I'm doing that so I can loot this city. There's another big city over here, and be a lot quicker to loot this thing and stash my loot up here. And I'm moving north in the map. So eventually I'll have some more bases staggered farther north. One thing about this city, I've flown around this map quite a bit since I'm late game, and this city has a high concentration of large buildings that have really good loot on the top of them. There's like 7 or 8 bookstores here. They have great loot. There's 5 or 6 hospitals. Just a good city loot, and it's a good city loot from up here because I'm going to be going rooftop to rooftop. These are all concrete blocks. I built this. There's probably 2 days of work in this. And what you see there is rebar. First, I flattened off the top of this thing, and those are just cover holes in the ground where I accidentally went too deep. Here, let me show you how this works. It looks like I missed one here. A couple of them. Throw some rebar down, and I'm carrying concrete mix, so I can use my nail guns to fill those up, and they'll dry. They'll look like these white ones. Anyway, I ran out of rebar blocks here, but I'm going to fill this in with rebar blocks and fill all those in with concrete. And you can see why I'm making a lot of concrete down at my base. I'm going to need a lot of concrete. And then I'm going to put a bridge over that little peak there. And that's where my base is going to be, main base. And then I'll probably put a horde base over here for horde night. And they can get up here. It's pretty steep, but they can get up here. I will probably, when I build a horde base, I will probably put a couple ramps up here to make it easy for them to get up here. Anyway, this is a project. I'll probably spend maybe 2 more horde nights. I'll be ready for a horde night up here, so that's 2 game weeks. I just need to drop this off, and then we are going to go looting, which is what makes this game so fun. Put my stuff back here. I'm going to put a temporary stuff, put my things I brought up here. Okay, we're going to go looting. Like I said, everything you see down there is a lootable building. Yes, those skyscrapers have every single room in that. That one takes, God, even if you're rushing through it, that takes a couple days to go through. I think I hit this one already. I did. You can see, well, you can't really see, but the fence is knocked out there. I knocked that fence out to get off it, so we're going to hop over this other one. And there will be immediately bad guys coming up here after us when we land. So we're going to land over in this corner and make sure we are reloaded. And we got 44 rounds. Here we go. There's all kinds of different turrets you can throw down. This is a sledge turret. I'm going to put that here just so you see what happens here. It's just kind of a sledgehammer if you need to block a door or block a stairway or something. Works good for that. I would have probably killed him next time. We're safe up here. We'll do some quick looting. This is top 3 floors of this. Sawed-off shotgun. Top 3 floors of this is the best floors. So you can start down below, and there's good stuff down below. It's fun to loot down below. I do that frequently. I'm just going to hit the stuff I know is up here on top, though. I don't want to get too sucked into one of these skyscrapers because they're big, and I'd rather show you some of the smaller POIs. I just want to show you the loot that's up here. Now, I've got an auger, which tears things up really quick. You know, you start the game, you've got a stone hammer. And that's a steel plate with 2,000 hit points, which takes you a while with a stone hammer. But you got iron pickaxes, and then you graduate to steel pickaxes, and eventually you find an auger. Which eats that stuff really quick. This is where the best loot in this building is. I'll repair that, I get more money for it. We'll be getting a lot of paper out of this. It's a bookstore, so there's going to be a lot of paper. Most of these books we find, I already have. If the book's open, you already got it. Yeah, the M60 machine gun. And a level 5 sniper rifle. I will replace this marksman rifle as soon as I find a level 6 sniper rifle. And the purple ones you can only find from looting or buy them at the trader. Let's see, one more thing up here. Alright. Put this stuff away. Stuff I'm going to keep. I don't need feathers because I got thousands of them and I don't use a bow. I keep all shotguns because I make shotgun turrets out of the parts. Those are parts I'm going to keep. I'm going to sell that. Found some gold and silver. I'm going to keep that. Sell that. I don't need to really carry that around. These books that you find that you already have, they're worth good money at the trader. I don't use a baton. So, normally, well, we'll show you a little bit. We'll do one floor here. Nope, he went away. Oh, you know what? I got Bill down there. Alright, we'll do it. It'll do. That's funny. I'll show you the blunderbuss. This is an early game weapon. before you start finding any shotguns, you'll find a blunderbuss. And it's ammo, only you make it with stone and gunpowder, I think. And it's pretty potent. It really is. Early game. It does not hurt to have a blunderbuss early game. It's a nice find, actually. There's a bunch of bad guys in here. See how I carry the sledge around? Now the blunderbuss is slow. I just wanted to show it to you. But it's potent. Even the lower end ones are potent. Now the reason I go in here is the reason I go in this building is to find books. Early game especially, you need those books to gain skills and stuff. You notice I've already got those because I've got like, there's probably only 10 books in the game I don't have. But since we're here, we'll look. These cans aren't worth anything to me. I think there's something up here. Alright, another thing I use in this building. I'll leave that one. Mass quantities of paper. This is the quickest way to get paper in old games. Alright, you know what? We're not going to go through this whole building. I mean, I will, because I need this paper to make shotgun shells. So, when I loot this building, I'm here for paper. Early game, I'm here for books. And then later game, I'll come here for paper because I'll pull, 15,000 paper out of this thing. And you need paper for shotgun shells. And I use a lot of shotgun stuff. So, I'll come back and I'll loot these. And the reason I'm building that base there, like I was saying, this building, there's one, there's two. There's one behind that building. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these just in my immediate vision. And I think there's a couple more. And that's a big... You don't normally find 6 of these in one close area. So this would be a good place to loot. And that base I'm building is right up there. So I can hop back and forth. It takes about half a day to hit these. So... you know, in a week's time, I'll hit every one of them and go down 3 or 4 floors where all the best stuff is and get tons of paper for shotgun shells. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I need to get off this building, and there's not enough runway here for that gyrocopter to take off. Oh, it's a good idea to reload before you get on your gyrocopter. So anyway, we got to knock a hole in that fence in there to get out of here. You can start from the bottom of this building, and there's some good stuff. There's good stuff on the first and second floors. The top 3 floors are the best, though. Usually late game, I'm just hitting the top 3 floors of it. We'll hit a car lot here. I want to show you some of these quicker POIs because it is Horde Day. And we don't have a ton of time for looting. I wanted to show you Horde Night, which is, we'll explain that later. I don't need lead. I mine it by the crap load. Some of those vending machines work, some don't. And they got various things in them. The reason I throw things out here is it doesn't regenerate. If you leave stuff in there and I come back after a regeneration cycle, which this is set to every 15 days it regenerates loot, same stuff will be there. So if it's something I don't need, I just throw it out and it'll generate new stuff. There's a bad guy in here. And I'm not really concerned about taking stuff. Except stuff that's worth money. In fact, I want to repair those. They're worth a lot more money repaired. Where are you at? Back here? Good night. And again, remember I'm late game. It's going to look a lot easier than it really is. This is much harder with just a club or a bow and an arrow. I get bones out of these bodies. And that's important. Need bones for glue, need glue for duct tape. Different zombies are harder to kill than others. You have radiated zombies that are a lot harder to kill, and cops that puke at you. I have one of those. That'd be a good spare though, and then level 6. Ooh, level 5 chainsaw. Sounds like a bunch of bad zombies over there. Come on out, boys. Every POI in the game, almost every, I mean not every one, but almost every one will have a, ooh, look at that. Early game, I would have really loved those. Even mid game. Every game has a nice stash at the end. Or every loot POI. Oh, that's cool. Robotic turret. Another level 5. Still looking for that level 6 sniper. Sometimes there'll be secret stuff behind pictures. Normally I would take that brass light for the brass. Brass makes bullets, of course. They got 9 brass out of that. Anyway, every POI has a nice end game loot or end POI loot stash usually, and there'll be loot all the way through it. But the last part is always the best. You'll find a nice loose stash at the top or at the bottom or something like that. Early game, I use the club a lot. So I got a lot of experience with the club. It's just, late game you got weapons, and I just use my firearms more than anything. Anyway, that's looting a POI. And like I said, we'll just fly around a little bit. I'll show you. Everything down here is a POI. Every single thing. Everything's lootable. Here, let me show you. If you're going to be mining and early game, you'll find deposits of different resources on top. This is lead. And whenever you find it on top, you'll find it continuing down below. And I could go down, I could make a mine shaft here. This is not how I usually make a mine shaft because I want a little protection, and I'll try to go pretty deep so I don't have zombies coming over. When they will come over, they'll hear this thing going off. And I'll close it up so they can't come down on top of me if I was actually going to mine here. And what I'm doing here is, since I created a hole, I wouldn't want to drive my mini bike over that, right, and fall into it and then have to dig my way out. That hole in the ground, that is a POI. That's a mine shaft down there, or a cave or something like that. And there's stuff in there, and there's usually a good stash of whatever. You might find a nice see, when a bird attacks you, it fucks you up, just like hitting a tree or something. Those are vultures, by the way. Take your head off. I gotta put some stuff away here. We'll sell this at the trader. I will show you how that works. And Then I'm just going to pause the game because I want to show you, or pause the recording until dark, because I want to show you Horde Night, which don't start till 2200 hours. Stuff on the bottom shelf is stuff I will sell to the trader. Stuff on top, stuff I will keep. Either tear it apart for resources or you know, use it in other things. You know, that little paper that we took out, I got like 4,600 sheets of paper. That's enough for a lot of shotgun shells. That's why I raid those bookstores late game. If I would have went down and finished out that, I would have probably got 24,000 paper, which is enough for a buttload of shotgun shells. Silencers do work. They hear noise. Noise draws them. Heat draws them. Anytime you're doing anything, you're creating heat in the map. I don't want to get too high here, so I want to show you some of these POIs. This is a nuclear missile-based POI. It's got a ton of stuff down below in a huge bunker. They hear you, they can smell you, and most importantly, they're attracted by heat. And the more stuff you do and different things you do create a larger heat zone. You know, for instance, you're putting up a forge or a bunch of forges like I have in my base. That creates about as big a heat zone in the game that you can create. But I'm deep enough underground there. They don't bother me. I think I'm too low to detect there. I start on high ground, so I end up, you know, like 50 meters below the ground. This is a fun POI. Yeah, I think there might be more like nine of those bookstores here. I will have enough paper when I'm done with those to not need any more for the rest of the game. This is a fun POI. Here, let me show you something. You know, I want that level 6 turret I had. We'll go get that. We'll go get that later. That is an airdrop. If we can get around that building, we would see it. You see the smoke. It'll go down, it'll land. It's 300 meters away. And it'll stay smoking for a while. Now, since I have my robotics maxed out, I can put 2 turrets down, and they both work. That's a sledge turret. This is a regular turret. Nice thing about turrets that you carry around like this is they don't take power, and they use junk turret ammo. That doesn't use any ammo at all. This, you make the ammo out of iron. So it's cheap, very effective, as you will see. Let's make sure all our weapons are loaded. There's a lot of bad guys in there. And you get a lot of points, of course, for killing bad guys. So early game, that's the easiest way to level up, is shooting bad guys. what I'm going to do is run through here, create a bunch of commotion. And get him to follow me out here. Come on, fellas. Between that knocking them back and my turret shooting them, there probably won't be a lot of those making it out here even. Here they come. Now you got to remember, my turrets are maxed out. I got full amount. Maximum ammo they can carry and maximum damage they can do. So they shoot really fast, they carry a lot of ammo. Like I said, I make this look easy because I'm late game and all my stuff is powerful. Here, let's... Oh, by the way, when you got this in your hand, you can shoot it. And that comes in handy for an emergency. Sometimes some of these guys will drop loot bags. And there's good stuff in there. We're not going to get it. We'll go pick up that airdrop. Then we're going to go back to base. And then I'm going to end the video and restart it as it gets dark for Horde Night. That's kind of funny. You know, that POI we just did without even breaking a sweat, I could have done that without even firing around because of my turrets, really. But you do that early game, and that's an adventure. I'll tell you what. Killing all those guys with low-end clubs that you're carrying, and bows and arrows and spears, is much more difficult early game. Like I said, I probably might have been mistakes showing you this late game because it's deceptively easy. Is that on the roof? It sure is. Landed on the roof of a laundromat. And I don't want to... I don't want to have to break the roof off to get it, so we will just nerd pull up there. I don't usually carry two turrets because I just don't need them at this point in the game. I do carry the sledge turret around just because it's nice. And sometimes your airdrops will be really good stuff. Sometimes it'll be just average crap like that. I carry a sledge turret around because it's nice to block my door. Like if I was going to loot this place, before I go in there, I would put my turret down. And that way I know there's no zombies coming in behind me. I'll hear them. If they do, they'll get hit by that thing. Or if I want to clean this place out, I do the same thing I did back there. I'll run around in there and make a bunch of noise. And draw them out. That's bulletproof glass there. We'll go get these guys. Where are they? There they are. There, he dropped a loot bag. You could pick this wall safe. I do carry around lock picks, and I also carry around a booster that'll let me get that in the first try, but it's much quicker. Just to break into it. Late game, if you've got an auger, of course. Somebody in here. I heard them. They must be upstairs. Here's a working vending machine. Some of them work, some of them don't. Nothing there I need. Early game, you can come here, you'll find some clothes and shoes and gloves and armor, and all that's important. Early game, really important. So it's a good place to get close, although there's other good places. I mean, when you loot stuff, it's usually POI specific stuff. Like a laundromat's going to have a lot of clothes. A gas station's going to have, you know, automobile parts and bike parts and repair kits. You know, a food place is going to have a lot of food and drinks. There's like fast food restaurants and regular restaurants and cafes, and they're of course going to specialize in food. You know, everything's different. Medical supplies, hospital. That's kind of funny too. The early game, these hospitals are tough. It'll take a day to go through there, and you get up on top here, and look at those bad guys. Okay, I'll tell you what. You don't do that early game. You do not do that early game. You will die. Very quickly, you will die. While we're here, I don't know if this regenerated or not. I think it is regenerated. This is a nice stash you get at the hospital. Although, if you need medical supplies, this is the place to come because there are tons of them in this place. Oh, you know what? I'm still using level 5 SMG. And I just got me a level 6. Now, although I'm late game, you might think this looting stuff doesn't matter, but it does, because it's worth a ton of money at the trader. And I use money to buy, there's a lot of stuff that's really expensive, like solar cells. That you don't have to put gasoline in. Yes, there are electrical devices you can make in here. Like for instance, that drawbridge door that I use to close off my ramp down in my base. I can make that electric, and I put motion sensors up so when I fly up to it, the door will open. There, now I can get off here. Anyway, that's the best loot in the hospital is up on top, but there's 7 stories there, and there is a ton of medical supplies in that hospital. And I've even built a base up in the upper levels before. Ton of loot in that hospital. That's like at least 2-day loot, even rushing through it. I've even built bases on the hospital, but you can get in trouble there. It'll do a reset. If you get a quest that takes you there, it'll reset it, and you'll lose your old base, which you don't want to do, of course. That's bad. Turn around. I'm going to head back to base and speed this up, and we're going to walk into traders and sell them our loot stuff for the day. And then I'm going to pause this until dark, and we'll pick it up on the blood moon, Horde night. Alright, we're back home. And those two buildings on the right there, those are both traders. And when I start a game, I try to pick a spot to put my first base that's real close to two traders. And what that does is give me access to more food early game, because they both have vending machines and I can buy food from them. And early game food's a thing. Well, not a real great landing there. And you're also buying and selling and trading stuff with a trader constantly early game. You know what? That needs to... I gotta make sure I don't sell that. In fact, let's do that right now. We're gonna modify this. I'm gonna take my mods out of here. See, I have 3 mod slots there because it's a level 5 submachine gun. This new submachine gun I got, which I want to repair because it was about dead. Since it is a level 6, I have 4 modifier slots. So I will probably, I think I have the book that takes away the damage reduction for silencers. So you can use the silencers without any damage reduction where normally you have them. And if I do, I'll put a silencer in that 4th slot there. If I don't, I'll put something else on. But the point is, the higher level this stuff is, the more, you know, even your clothes has modifier slots. You put things in there. Like all my clothes have, that's an insulated liner mod and a cooling mesh mod, and any piece of armor I can put that in will have those, most of those items, because it lets me not wear heavy clothes in the desert, or I mean light clothes in the desert and heavy clothes in the Arctic regions. I can wear the same clothes the whole game. And each one of your clothing has mods. Your vehicles have mods. Your turrets have mods. What I'm doing here is anything I'm going to take home. I'm going to put in there. And the rest of it I'm going to sell. I'll keep those SMGs because I'll take them apart and use the parts to make SMG turrets. And the rest of the stuff I'm going to sell to the trader and make a buttload of money. And the reason you need money is, like I said, solar cells, that's a late game thing. I don't think I've ever looted them. I think you have to buy those from the trader, and they're very expensive. So you need lots of money for that. Plus you can melt these gold coins for brass. Brass is a important commodity in this game. Before I go in there, I'm going to increase my bartering by 10%. And I also get a 10% because I'm smoking a cigar.
Welcome, survivor. Feel free to look around.
That is actually a clothing mod. You can use a cigar, you can use a neck thing for protection. There's a couple things you can put in there, but your cigar gives you plus 10% bartering power. And you get other things, like if I was holding a 44 Magnum, I get another 10% break, and there's also another potion in the game that'll give you a 20%. So you can buy something that would normally cost, you know, 40,000 coins for $15,000 if you do all those things at once. Right now we're just going to sell this stuff we looted today. We've got, starting out with 18,000 18,000 tokens, and a stack will hold 25 with the mod I run. Those I'm only getting 145 for. Late in the game, I usually don't even pick those up. You know, like that I'm getting 1,000 for a level 4. That I'm getting 1,000 for level 6 axe. You can see up here how much I'm selling this stuff for. So some things like chainsaws and augers, you get $5,000 out of them, you know. Gold and silver and diamonds are sellable, of course. $3,000 for that pair of gloves. Money's worth more than money. You know what? I think I want to keep that. I'm pressing W key to sell here. So I made like $24,000 looting today. And that is also a whole forge full of brass. If I wanted to melt that, it'll forge will hold 25,000. Which will make a lot of cases, of course.
You watch yourself out there.
My base that we came out of, right here. Remember I told you that chicken be up there when it's ready? I don't need feathers. Sometimes you'll get feathers, sometimes you get eggs, sometimes you get eggs and feathers. I use eggs for cooking and make some really good meals. They keep you healthy for a long time. Again, the reason I put my first base right beside 2 traders, if I can find 2 close together, is 2 vending machines. I don't need jailbreakers. I carry around a bunch of those. What they'll do is if I need to pick a lock, if you take a jailbreaker first, you have 100% success when you lock pick. And sometimes you need to. Like if you see a gun safe in a trader, you can break into that. But since a trader is indestructible, it's the only thing in the game that's indestructible, you can't break into it, but you can still pick the lock. Hackers I buy, that gives you salvage power. That's why I carry around this impact driver.
Hello, traveler. What's ailing you?
She don't really have anything I need here. They replenish their stuff, their stock, the items they have every 3 days. And she had, if I didn't already have an auger, that'd be awesome. And that's a special auger. That's an HD auger. She had 3 or 4 solar cells, so I went looting for like that whole week to be able to buy those because I needed them. And I think both these traders will reset tomorrow with new stuff.
Nothing this time?
I still check them every day to see what's in the machine because You get a lot of the potions out of the machine that let you do stuff. Down there is the drawbridge. Well, we'll go down there. This is that ramp that goes down into my base. Like I said, eventually I will hook this up. That's why I wanted the solar cells. I will hook this up to power. So when I come driving up or flying up, that'll open automatically. I'll set it on a motion sensor. And this is my horde base. I put my horde base close to my main base, but far enough away that any damage that happens doesn't affect my base at all. So anyway, it is 1600 hours. I'm going to go downstairs and unload all the stuff I looted today and put it in its place and have some food and get ready for Horde Night. I need to get a bunch of special ammo. You know what? About 2100 hours, that's 1 hour before Horde Night starts, I will come back and we'll do Horde Night. Horde Night's fun. Funnest part of the game. Man, I'll explain Horde Night then. Till then, see you later.